thought which comes into your mind is responsible for manifestation. Let me explain this to you step by step. Thought is a cognitive reality, a perceptual reality. In that cognitive perceptual reality, you think about, or the thought by itself comes to you about, say, a Mercedes Benz. And that is a thought. It's not a real Mercedes Benz. It's an image of the Mercedes Benz that you are thinking, and that's a thought. Although it is a thought, it is some sort of manifestation, meaning a real perception of an object, although it is not tangible, it has been perceived. Since it has been perceived, it is some sort of what I call unidimensional manifestation, which is different from the three-dimensional manifestation, which is to have the car in your, say, garage. Okay. So there is a difference between this. And what is the difference? One is unidimensional, the other is three-dimensional. What is one-dimensional? This thought or the image of Mercedes in your mind. And the three-dimensional is the real car which you can go touch and get into it and drive. They are the same phenomenon with some changes. And every manifestation happens following this principle. A thought is the fundamental reality that makes it possible for a manifested reality, whether it is a unidimensional manifestation at the level of the thought or a three-dimensional manifestation where you can go and touch the car and drive it, and then it is a physical reality. So what is behind both a unidimensional and a three-dimensional reality is this thought. Now, we have no problem thinking about a Mercedes Benz. Everybody can think about it. But everybody cannot manifest it, and that is the problem. So that is going to be a very important knowledge tool that is required by everyone to deal with manifestation in the three-dimensional reality. As I said, it's not difficult to think about Mercedes Benz, but what is difficult is to manifest it in a three-dimensional reality. Why? Generally speaking, what happens is that you think of a Mercedes Benz, you want to have it, you want to buy it or lease it or whatever, but then the problem is you don't have money, or the money is going to come to you at some point in time, and you have to wait for the time. So the intermediary is the time. Okay? Not only the time, but also a game plan. What's a game plan? So I need to buy this Mercedes Benz or lease it. How am I going to do that? Because I don't have the money. So how can I get the money? So I will do extra work or do something else new, or whatever. You have to come up with a game plan. So you need time and then you need a game plan. And these are the prerequisites, which I call the intermediary. Without the intermediary, we cannot manifest. That's not true. That's what we think. That is that is where we go wrong. There is no need for the intermediary at all. What are the intermediaries? One is the time. I will buy in 6 months or next year. And the second intermediary is the game plan, which is taking another job or doing something else to get that money. So you don't need the intermediaries at all. You can instantaneously manifest. This is the way that the siddhas or the yoga masters manifest. They don't have jobs. They don't want to go to jobs. But then what they worked on all their life long is to understand that there is no need to have an intermediary because they live in a timeless reality. Not all of the gurus, not all of the yogis, not all of the siddhas, but those who are accomplished. But, however, all the yogis, or most of the yogis and most of the siddhas, are getting there. They may not be able to manifest instantaneously, but eventually they will be able to do it. And how it happens, somebody may come and donate it to them, or they may find it in some other way, a miraculous way, that somebody comes and gives that car to him for use or for good. So that can also happen. It has happened many times, and as a matter of fact, many of the gurus manifest only this way, that it is being given to them. They don't, in general, pay attention to time or the game plan. So they live in a world of no time, no game plan. Then how can you manifest? You can just manifest just by the thought. It is enough to have the thought to manifest a Mercedes Benz. But then it is very difficult for us to believe it, because that is not the way it happens. It has to be bought with your own money, or somebody, you have to borrow the money, or whatever you have to do is that you have to have the money, or a job or a contract or something that will bring the money. That's the game plan. And then there is the time. See, these two factors, which is the time factor and then the intermediary factor, belong to the domain of logic. What is the logic? The logic is cause and effect. Okay. We need a cause to justify the effect. There is no need. You can get an effect without a cause, where there is a merger of cause and effect. The cause and effect can be the two sides of the same coin. Okay, it is just the one coin, it's the two sides of the same coin. And why it is not happening to us as it does to the accomplished yogi or siddha? It is because we don't know the technology. And that is the technology that I want to teach for 2 days. I need at least 2 days to explain it step by step, and how you can get to that level where you can instantaneously first understand the process, and second, through practice, you can manifest it. The intermediary can be totally discarded. It was not my intention to teach it, and it came to me. That's why I decided that I will do it, and I just surprised people by calling them, hey, I'm going to do the Guru Purnima program. And I said, what is the topic? They said I gave some other topic for the program, which I don't remember. I said, it doesn't matter. And this seems to be very, very important thing for everybody to know, that thought becomes matter. Is this only a philosophy or mysticism? It is really, literally true, because Max Planck, for instance, said that it is consciousness that becomes matter. There is no matter at all without consciousness. This is Max Planck. But how many people would understand Max Planck and his science? Very difficult, but I still will talk about it in the program. It is much easier to understand this concept as energy and matter. The energy is the thought here, which is Einstein's model, and matter is, as you know, the object, three-dimensional object. So they are one and the same, and then it's a matter of understanding matter. It's a matter of understanding matter. It's a matter of understanding energy and how to convert one to the other. The Siddhas would say it differently. They would say thought is the energy, and this Mercedes Benz is matter. So without the thought, neither the image of Mercedes Benz nor its three-dimensional version of it cannot exist. So that takes you to Max Planck and Einstein, that energy and matter, or consciousness and matter, are one and the same. And I just want to give you one example, which can also be a technique. Those of you who don't come to the program, at least I have the satisfaction I've given the technique right here, right now, which is go on having that image. Keep on, thinking about that particular image of this Mercedes Benz. And then your consciousness will manifest it. It will manifest it. And you won't ask the question why, how, why, where, when, what. All these questions will not be there. You would be like a child wanting a toy and then so persistent on getting that toy, will eventually get it. So the intermediary is not needed. Now, in the program, what I will teach is how to get rid of the intermediary, how to get rid of the cause and effect hang up. We are hung up on this cause and effect, and how to get rid of this chronic habit of the mind, that we need to have a cause for an effect. No, there is no need for an intermediary. All that you need is, I just remember a Christian evangelist. She was talking about Catherine Kuhlman. That's her name. Her name comes to my mind. She's considered one of the greatest evangelical preacher of this century. She would heal people right and left, all miracles. And she said something very interesting. How do you heal cancer, for instance? Even pancreatic cancer. If there are two things, she said. One is the faith in the disease, and the other is the faith in Jesus Christ. If the faith in the disease is more than in Jesus Christ, you cannot heal yourself. But on the other hand, if the faith in Jesus is more than the faith in the disease, you can heal. That's how she said she has been healing people. It's a very important concept. So I will also discuss this in the 2 days of the seminar. So there will also be a small program for people who wouldn't be able to do the 2-day program. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you. God bless.